Hi, my name is PK Ham. I'm going to share with you how I'm using the Linksys MX4200 tri-band AX router, which is a Wi-Fi 6 router, to overcome the coverage problem in my condo, which is 1,600 square feet. Please view this video to the end to witness why I chose the Linksys MX4200 router as a solution to my coverage problem. I have subscribed to StarHub 1 gigabit per second fiber broadband as my internet service provider. The subscription includes 2 Google Wifi mesh routers to cover my whole condo. From this diagram, I illustrate 5 areas: the living area, dining area, the first room, second room, the master room, and the kitchen and utility areas. I have connected the modem to the fiber, and the modem is feeding the first router, which is placed at the living room and the dining room area, and the second router is placed at the first room. The 4K TV is directly connected to the first Google mesh router via the Ethernet connector cable, and the rest of the devices like the HP wireless printer, the iPhone, iPad in this area will be covered through wirelessly. In the first room, I have the laptop directly connected to the Google mesh router using the Ethernet cable. The handphone and iPad in the room will be covered through the Wi-Fi coverage. For the second room and the master room, devices that are used in this area will be covered through the Wi-Fi coverage from the router in the first room. The use of iPad and iPhone in the kitchen and utility area, the Wi-Fi coverage will depend on the first main router placed in the middle of the living room and the dining room. With this current Wi-Fi network design, I have issues that I'm going to share with you now. First, we have the living room and the dining room. The Wi-Fi signal strength is very strong. For the first room, the Wi-Fi signal strength is strong. Second room, Wi-Fi signal strength is fairly strong. For the master room, the Wi-Fi signal strength is weak. And lastly, in the utility area, the Wi-Fi signal strength is also very weak. To overcome the weak signal in the master room and the kitchen and utility area, I have redesigned the Wi-Fi network to use the Linksys MX4200 tri-band router. This router is Wi-Fi 6 or AX capable and is able to feed multi-user, and is also able to give extra coverage to overcome the weak signal area. Before carrying out any test, I need to verify the StarHub fiber broadband speed and also the throughput. These are the routers that I've set up for the testing. The Linksys MX4200, which is this one, and then also compare with the Google Wi-Fi mesh. And this is the modem provided by the ISP StarHub. The router to be tested will be connected to one of the output port of the modem. I've already set up the Linksys MX4200 Wi-Fi router to the StarHub modem, 1 gigabit per second speed, and I'm going to verify the speed of this internet service providers. So I'm using the Linksys app, the tester. So I select speed test. Test is running. So I'm getting a download speed of 942 megabit per second and the upload speed of 944 megabit per second. So this is close to the 1 gigabit per second speed or 1000 megabit per second speed from the StarHub service. I'm testing the Linksys MX4200 router speed connecting to the Samsung S21 Ultra. So I've selected Linksys. So I'm starting the test using the StarHub residential broadband tester. It just completed 890 megabit per second. So I'm going to connect the Samsung S21 Ultra to the Google Wi-Fi router now. So the Google Wi-Fi router is called the Fish02 mesh. So I'm starting the test now for the Google Wi-Fi mesh. Just completed the download. Speed 478 megabit per second for the Google mesh. Just completed the upload speed for the Google mesh, 597 megabit per second. So you notice that the Linksys MX4200 Wi-Fi speed is much higher than the Google mesh next to the router. And both routers are directly connected in such a way that they are individually set up. These are the two routers that will be tested for coverage in the first room. I'm testing the Google Wi-Fi mesh now. Let's complete the Wi-Fi test of the Google, and I'm going to test the MX4200 now. Okay, now the 4200 is ready to test. Completed the download. Alright, completed the upload. So you see the speed is significantly increased. Very good Wi-Fi throughput. The two routers that will be connected to the Ethernet adapter from the router to the Dell XPS 139310 model and going to the Thunderbolt 4 port of the computer, and I'm going to do the testing. And this is the first one using the Google router. Right, we just completed the Wi-Fi Ethernet speed using the router. This is the complete test now of the Google Mesh router using the Ethernet connector. And the download speed is 233 and the upload is 111 megabit per second. Alright, so I'm going to compare this speed with the MX4200 now. So I'm starting the testing for the MX4200 using the Ethernet connection. Okay, the test completed for the MX4200 router using the Ethernet. And you can see the speed download is 421 and the upload is 479, significantly improved from the Google router. Doing the test of the router that is placed in the first room, but at the master room now I have no mesh router connected at all, so it's totally depending on the router from the first room. So this is the setup to test the Google mesh router in the master room. I'm still using the Samsung S21 Ultra, which has the AX capability. I just completed the download and upload. Alright, so the speed is 79.7 megabit per second for download and the upload is 67 megabit per second. Now I'm testing the MX4200. Just completed the download. Very high throughput of 345 megabit per second download. This is the MX4200. Testing the upload now. just completed, and you can see the upload is very much higher, 393.51 megabit per second. So in conclusion, you can see that at the back room, master room, where there is totally no router, the MX4200 is able to give us significant throughput and the Wi-Fi speed compared to the Google. So this will be able to resolve the back room in a master room, where I can still connect the TV for YouTube streaming, and then also other devices that I can use in the master room without any additional mesh router. I'm going to test the first router, which is the Google Wi-Fi mesh in the kitchen area, and I'm using the StarHub tester. The test completed for the Google Wi-Fi mesh, showing a download speed of 199 megabit per second and the upload speed of 136 megabit per second. Now I'm testing the Linksys MX4200 router now. The test completed with a download speed of 422 megabit per second and an upload speed of 306 megabit per second, which shows a very significant increase in the speed due to the MX4200. The back of the condo, which is the utility area, and I'm going to test the two routers, starting with the Wi-Fi Google Mesh. The test completed, showing the download speed of 128 megabit per second and the upload speed of 30 megabit per second. I'm going to test the Linksys MX4200 router now. I just completed the test for the Linksys MX4200 router. Shows a very significant improvement in the throughput speed. This page shows the summary of the test between the Linksys MX4200 router, which is the AX Wi-Fi 6 capable, versus the Google Wi-Fi mesh, which is AC capable. It is very clear that the MX4200 router is a clear winner. The MX4200 is able to overcome the weak signal in the master room, and the throughput result shows the significant improvement of 300% more than the Google mesh. Even in the first room, there is a significant improvement of throughput for using the MX4200. The improvement is in excess of 300%. The test result also shows significant improvement in the kitchen area, where the MX4200 is able to get more than 100% compared to the Google mesh. And then in the utility area, the MX4200 is able to get at least 100% more for the download and 400% more for the upload. From the test, I strongly recommend to replace the Google Wi-Fi mesh router with the MX4200. In conclusion, the Linksys MX4200 AX Wi-Fi router is a clear winner. All the weak signal areas in a condo has good Wi-Fi coverage with the MX4200. The speed of connection is comparable between Google and Linksys router. However, the speed of download and upload throughput is significantly enhanced using the Linksys MX4200. The data throughput for download and upload is significantly increased using the MX4200. The MX4200 will definitely be able to support multi-users in the condo, and the Wi-Fi transfer throughput for devices with AX Wi-Fi 6 hardware will be very significant. If you like this video, please like and subscribe and then share with your friends.